Jai Shri Mataji. It's a great pleasure for me to send my best greetings and gratefulness to the Satyuga Sangam of India.
You know, I travel a lot for work. I've been seen to many countries, but India is the one place that has attracted me again and again. So what's the difference between India and the many other places we can visit? And the key word is really purity. So India has a purity in the land and in the people, from which we as coming from Europe can learn a lot from. You know, the purity in the land is reflected in the Ganges, in the Himalayas, but also in your Swayambhus, like such as you have the Ashtavinayaka in Maharashtra, or the Saptashringi. And those are places which we go to imbibe the special qualities of those places. And we find when we go to India, we come away very much changed. And many of those experiences have been actually life-changing. And they've always been a step forward in bringing out the positive in ourselves. But similarly also the people of India, I find when we interact with the people in India, they have qualities that bring the best out in ourselves. And the core of that purity is really the brother-sister relationship. So it's a relationship which we're lacking in the West and which we can only understand by going to India and seeing that. For example, here the relationship between men and women in the West is very undefined. It's very unclear and it's very insecure. You don't know where you stand.
I like India really much because the food is really nice there and the sweets are also very nice there. But what I like the most is that you're not really bored there, because if you are, then children come and they play with you.
You see, I'm Indian. I came here 20 years back and I married to Hans 21 years back. And the first time I met him, I saw him, he's meditating very, very long time. Then I asked him, why are you meditating so long? Here, if you sit in 10 minutes, you can feel your Kundalini. Then he explained that once you come to West, you will understand that. So when I came first time to Austria, I felt very nice and cool, but after 7 days I started feeling that it's getting heavy. It takes time to reach my final destination, that my sasrara, I can feel.
Every mother or every housewife in India knows about how to treat her children just with herbs and with this ancient knowledge actually. They know what to do, what to give them to drink when they have a cold or when they have wounds. They put curcuma on the wound, or they give a decoction of ginger and ajwain for colds, or what they have to do when they have tummy pain or something like this. So it's always very present there, Ayurveda. It's like in their genes actually. And I brought this knowledge to my country and to my family.
But Shri Mataji told us that all the Western artists and composers, I mean the really great ones, they are incarnations of Indian sages or Indian incarnations. For instance, Mozart is the incarnation of sage Narada, who is always with Sri Vishnu and singing and playing the Veena. Or William Blake is the incarnation of Sri Bhairava. So to understand the essence of Mozart or William Blake or Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci, you need to go to India. And I think the key, the reason, the secret key is that India is the Kundalini of the world.
And when I saw them, I knew this is what I want to learn. It really completely touched me. went right into my heart, and I love the rhythm, especially the very fast movements. For me, it had a lot of vibrations. I still love it. It's so aesthetic. It's gracious. It's pure. It's beautiful. For me, it's a way to express my love for God, to tell God's stories in my dance. And for me, it's my way to spread vibrations.
Well, as a musician, the Indian culture, of course, has a lot of very special aspects to us. Number one, what is very intriguing to us who are associated with Western classical music is the individuality of the musicians in many aspects. And the aspect that strike me most over the years was the emphasis they put on every single note of a rag, of the melody, of each note of the scale. So the combination of the attention on the details, but never losing the whole picture, never losing the whole raga, which might last an hour or longer, is something that is always happening with the masters of Indian classical music, and that's something we can learn a lot in the Western classical music. And I think the reason for this, why they can master this, is because they play with the music like a child. They are able to be very centered, very focused, very much in the presence.
Especially the Yoga Bhumi of India, we have learned so many basic values of purity, innocence and simplicity. And we have to learn from the Western culture, from the Western Sahaj culture, the values of perfection in that sense, but full devotion, perfection with full devotion from Western Sahaj yogis. And these blessings of Sahaj and Shrimadji's blessings, we have to use it for our spiritual development.
We are called Austria, means Astra, but one of the biggest Astra we have indeed is the motherhood, which was so much uplifted by this queen, Maria Theresia, as the mother principle is considered one of the highest principles, especially in the spiritual world of Sahaj Yoga transformation. And we know, quoted by Shrimadaji herself, that the mother have to take care for the preservation not only of their own children, but of the whole country, the whole race and the whole nation. And particularly Shrimadaji mentioned, where the mothers fails, the whole nation will fail.
It was a dream about Shrimadaji, and she directly told me to do a version of the Mahabharata, a theater version. For me, Mahabharata is so much connected to the essence of every culture of the world. And you find elements of Mahabharata in the mythologies and the fairy tales and the stories of other cultures as well.
I think the most amazing thing about India is the general level of spiritual awareness everywhere. The whole country is just a spiritual country. So I really hope that when the kids are a little older, I will be able to take them to that wonderful country, to India, and show them the beautiful heritage of spirituality.